how do you work with clients to define these business goals here at the year end?
Yeah, and that's exactly it. So we like to say, as your applications or your line of applications go, so goes your infrastructure. Oftentimes, what we're seeing is a lot of these applications that have traditionally lived on your local server and your local environment, your ERP softwares, your accounting softwares, are moving to the cloud. They're moving to a web-based, SaaS-based model. And so you no longer have to run these applications on a server in your server room, right?
A lot of times they're not even allowing you to anymore.
Exactly.
Like they're forcing you into cloud, whether that's
right. And so
products
when
or
you
others.
have these line of business applications that are now out of your environment, you're really opened up to kind of start exploring and adopting more of the cloud model. And there's positives and negatives to that. Like, obviously, traditionally you're used to having this CapEx spend of like, I want to buy some equipment and I want to amortize it over the next 5 years. That moves to more a recurring model where you're paying monthly, a subscription model for all of these services. But there's positives to that, right? We won't get in kind of in the cloud environment, but when we're sitting down, we're like, we need to buy a solution that fits the organization for 5 years. That's hard to aim at, right? We have to plan for a server that's going to fit the needs of the organization for the next 5 years.
And often they can't tell us what 5 years, the size and scope is going to be.
And the cloud gives you that flexibility to kind of go up and down and scale. So it's a little bit more flexible than trying to guess at what the next 5 years are. So oftentimes what we'll do is, one, look at the application, see what their next few years are going to look like. Are they moving to the cloud, and start planning around that? But really understanding from the business owner's perspective, the stakeholders' perspective, what their business objectives are for the next couple of years. That's critical for IT to support those business decisions, because really IT is there to support the goals of the organization. So sitting down with the stakeholders, sitting down with the owners, understanding what their plans are, their goals are for their organization for the next 12, 24, 36 months helps us from an IT consultant standpoint put the solutions in there to support those business goals. And that's really what our objectives are.
Dan, what is your thoughts on business goals and drivers and how you're interfacing with clients on this year-end planning session streak that we're on now in Q4?
Yeah. I like everything that Patrick said. I would say that for a lot of my clients, they look at us as their IT staff, because they don't have an IT staff at all. So we need to come in and be consultative as I consult with my clients and try to anticipate where their infrastructure may change or how their infrastructure may change in the next 5 years or 7 years. So with several of my clients, we've talked about the value, like Patrick talked about, the positives of having on-prem infrastructure. But then through the pandemic and just naturally over time, people have wanted more resilient infrastructure where they can work for anywhere, that they don't have to buy infrastructure anymore, and all these things. So they may not know exactly what the solution will be, but my clients may say, I want to be able to work from anywhere. That's something that I want. So then our team can come in as consultants and say, okay, great. I know that you want to work from anywhere and you have these requirements. Here are ideas or directions we could go to achieve that. And so the expectation really from our side is to be that consultative voice that can come in and say, here's some solutions. Because we oftentimes when we get a new client, they'll tell us, look, our last company didn't give us very good consultative solutions. They didn't bring things to our attention. They didn't give us ideas. So a large role of the account managers here at IronEdge is to do that, and to do that actively all year long. And then this end of year financial planning and budgeting effort really brings all of that together. And we say, look, here's the consultative we're bringing you. Here's the ideas. Here's possible solutions. Here's technology. And it really kind of comes together at the end of the year. And that's kind of what I do, and what our really me and Patrick, our role here is at IronEdge.